Hey, hello, everybody, and welcome to the podcast. Welcome, sorry, to the live webinar that we're hosting today. My name is Philipp Labkovskiy, and I will be hosting today a live webinar with the results of what is called State of Mobile Commerce 2026, presented to you by IMSHOP.AI. And just a little bit of bio behind myself. I will ask our editors to quickly, yep, thank you, add the slides here. So, yeah, as I said, State of Mobile Commerce 2026 is what we're going to discuss today. So, my name is Philipp Labkovskiy. I'm the global e-commerce expert with more than 10 years experience being an e-commerce director for brands like board riders with Quicksilver, Roxy, DC Shoes, Billabong, etc. And most recently with a global e-commerce setup for Echo Shoes. So I've been working with e-commerce and omnichannel retail for a long time. And today I'm very excited to actually present you the numbers that IMSHOP.AI gathered for you from their vast line of partners, because they're creating mobile apps for retailers. And they have a lot of information and they have a lot of statistics from their clients. And this is exactly what you're going to get today, a condensed version of a lot of knowledge from the market in this report. And I'm very, very excited and honored that they asked me to actually host this event for you. So let's jump right into it. And I want to start with saying that, of course, mobile is becoming the operating system for modern commerce. And today, we see from the statistics that 62% of internet traffic actually comes from the smartphones. Almost 75% of U.S. population has purchased online via mobile device or a smartphone. Which is, of course, very exciting. It basically represents that mobile devices are here and they're here for a very long time. And they are primary source of us shopping online. And yeah, so this is not regarding the mobile apps in particular, but mobile devices. And here you can see some statistics behind the downloads of the mobile apps. And many retailers ask themselves, like, how many of my clients will actually install the app? Because it seems that you already have a website, you already have some presence online. Everybody have a mobile phone, as we just seen. 75% of people already buy something through their smartphones online. Why having an app? What will be the downloads of your clients with the app that you have? And statistics from ImShop actually shows that 32% of active customers become monthly app users. And that basically means that if you have, let's say, 1,000 customers, then 320 will actually become the users of your mobile app, which is pretty exciting. And we will later see the numbers of revenues and what you can expect from this 32%. And I'm sure you will be quite surprised. I know that I was when I first seen some of the next slides. But this is the average statistics that they gathered. And 14% of active app base is actually replenished by new installs each month, because of course you have some people who are sticking with the app and some people who are leaving the app. And we will also look into this later with the retention and how long do people stick with the mobile app. But this is something that you can count on, that 1/3 of your clients will be the app users from your existing base. This is, I think, important to say, that we're talking about the existing base. We're not talking about somebody whom you need to acquire through paid media or paid ads or any other types of paid basically advertisement. If you already have a business, if you already have sales, then 30%, a third of your customers will generate the audience of a mobile app, which is quite exciting. And we will see why in a couple of slides, because, of course, what happens after this is what is important. Um, Yeah, we're going to have a couple of these, the pro tip, as we call them. And basically, here, what we wanted to highlight is that there are examples on the market of brands who are doing exceptionally well this type of communication for the initial downloads. And here you can see some photos of a Nike shop. I think that they're one of the best out there who actually do that. So you can see that they're communicating in their brick and mortar locations like Shop More in the Nike app. Events are better as a member, etc., etc. This is kind of a mixture between the loyalty program and a mobile app, because loyalty program becomes part of your mobile app and part of this experience, which is also quite valuable. And we see that installs are actually converting up to 2 times higher than a standard digital acquisition methods if you have this physical presence and physical QR codes and messages driving the physical footfall in your stores to your mobile app. And well, that's pretty clear why this happens, because the footfall that you would have in your stores is already somebody who has the affinity of knowing your brand, who already are interested in your brand. And if they are customers and clients, then this is basically the magnets that will get them into your app. So this is an important part. Not only your smart banners for the website or smart banners for the mobile sites, which are very important, and they will give you this 32%. But if you want to go higher than average 32%, you do this. You use your offline presence for this conversion from brick and mortar to actual downloads of the mobile app. And yeah, this is the slide that I'm also very excited about, because what this shows is the engagement. Because okay, so people are downloading the app, people are actually starting using it, but how will they engage, and will they engage better than on the website? We think that with the mobile website we already have quite good numbers, and what will change if we launch a mobile app? So the average numbers from IMSHOP are actually saying that 9 minutes is an average in-app session length, and people are actually returning to the mobile app three times on average, 3 times a month. And you can see on the right side there's a chart, and in this chart you can see that yeah, basically comparison of the mobile app to a desktop to a mobile website. And well, it speaks for itself, right? So 9 minutes versus 2 minutes on a desktop website, and only 1 minute on the mobile website, which is a huge difference. And I see that this difference is mostly driven by the fact that the interface draws people into the mobile app experience more than it will be on your desktop or in a mobile, because the mobile experience is usually something very quick. We want to check out the website, we want to see what it's about, and we're not spending too much time on our mobile device like this, browsing or shopping or something like this. The desktop, of course, takes a little bit longer. There are certain demographics, there are certain segments. I know this from my experience working with the shoes industry. We know segments of people who are spending more time on the website, especially the desktop, because this is where they're kind of like, quote unquote, finalizing their funnel. They're making the final decision because they trust with their credit card more, et cetera, et cetera. But with the mobile app, that trust even more, because they already, if you connect your card to the mobile app, and this is a proprietary app to the brand, then they trust it more than a website or a mobile website. So they spend more time there. They return more often. But let's check out the next metric. And before we go into the next metric, again, another pro tip here. How to make sure that your clients are actually engaging with your app more, and they spend more time there, and they return to your app more time than average, because we saw the average numbers right now, 9 minutes, right? And 3 times a month. But how to make sure that, for example, people will return 40 times a day to your to your mobile app. Think about it, 40 times a day returning to the retailer brand mobile app. And this is an example of a brand called Lemieux. So every time I'm pronouncing it, I think that I'm mispronouncing it. So sorry, um, uh, who is a fan of this brand, if I'm mispronouncing it. But we recently did an interview with Sean Lachlan, who is the head of digital for this brand, and it's a fantastic equestrian brand. And what they did is they launched a mobile app with this experience, what they call Lemieux Insider. And they have a commercial part of this app, of course. And this is an e-commerce app first thing. But then what they added is they added this insider experience, which creates a community, yes, but it also creates this onboarding process. You can see on the right screenshot over there. And this is like an enthusiast level, right? You need to get from one level, from one tier to another one. And they basically create a game around it, and they create all of those events for the community, for people who are visiting. So the end result, and Sean actually says this on an interview, go check it out. It's on our YouTube channel that is called Mobile First Retail, and it's out there on YouTube and on all of the podcast platforms. And Sean actually says himself 40 times a day. They were surprised themselves. So the pro tip here will be to create reason for users to return to the mobile app beyond just shopping. If it's just shopping, you can expect this average of 3 times a month, right? In 9 minutes, this is an average. But if you add those elements, you can expect much, much more. Create an onboarding journey, not just a process, not just a push notification, not just a welcome pop-up or something that we all do for the websites, for the mobile apps, but an actual journey that people will be drawn into and people will engage with, and they will actually want to improve their tiers, to actually move up the internal ladder within your ecosystem of the brand. And of course, create community elements, but we'll talk about this in more detail in the later slides. Conversion. Another very exciting statistics on the slide here, because basically what IMSHOP found out is that 11% is an average first conversion rate from install to actually purchase on the iOS devices, and 7.9% on Android devices. This is quite a significant shift if you look on the chart on the right there. So this blurry yellow one, the first one, is a mobile web that has an average conversion rate of 1.8%. And I guess, well, if you work in e-commerce, you know. If you know, you know, right? 1.8, we always try to get it 2%, 3%, which is like the best practices out there, 3.5% maybe for the desktop. And you can see that the 3% is an average for a desktop, right? But 11% is just so much higher for the mobile app. And again, we're talking about the first purchase, from the moment when somebody installed your app to the moment when they did the first purchase, right? And of course, we're not looking into ROIs here, and we're not looking into acquisition. But thinking about if you're already an established brand, or if you already have some traffic, having a mobile app with all of the previous numbers that we just looked at, with 30%, the 1/3 of your existing customers turning to the mobile app, the conversion rate will be higher. So you can just calculate how much a conversion rate will improve your business and your commercial funnel overall if you include the mobile app. And this is an interesting one. So this is actually statistics not by IMSHOP, but this is something that AppsFlyer, I guess many of us know AppsFlyer. This is a large data layer, and they do a lot of different stuff. But they also have mobile commerce report that they do annually. And in the latest report, what they showed is, first of all, they also have those numbers 11% and 7.9% for the initial installs. But they go deeper, and they show that the contrast is between the first install and what they call a loyal user. So loyal user is somebody who installed your mobile app and then makes a purchase for the second, the third time, and so on. So for iOS, that will be 4.7%, and for Android, that will be 2.8%. which is, again, we're talking about the customer base who is accumulated right in your mobile apps. We're not talking about the new absolutely the newcomers, or somebody whom you will acquire through through just advertisement. And this means that this conversion rate goes on and on. And the better you're actually returning your consumer, you're telling the story of a brand, launching new products, this conversion stays. So there's a reason why brands in a lot of cases love to highlight their new item, the new product, only for the mobile app users, like loyalty based users, first before they launch it, across all of the stores or across regular e-commerce website. The pro tip here will be, of course, focused around iOS. And iOS users, as we see here, are converting faster, and they keep spending. So they on a regular 1.3 days is how much faster the iOS users are converting compared to other users. So I guess the pro tip here will be just relocate your budgets towards the iOS users rather than Android users, because they will pay more, they will buy more, and the ROI there will be just so much better. Revenue. Of course, we all want to know more about how this will impact our revenue, and here are some numbers behind that. So you remember how only 1/3 of our customers will become the loyal members, or like they will download the mobile app. But guess what? If you compare mobile app to the mobile website to the desktop website, you will see that a mobile app is responsible for nearly 40% of the revenue, compared to 35% for the desktop website and 25% for the mobile website. Which tells us that the high mobile web usage combined with the low revenue share indicates that customers browse on the mobile phone, but prefer to convert on a desktop or in the apps. If you don't have a mobile app, then a lot of your customers will actually convert more on the desktop. But if you do have a mobile app, then you have all the benefits that we just talked about on the previous slides, plus the more revenue will come from the app in terms of percentages. And in terms of the average check and the rest, I can tell you from my experience, I'm not sure if that information is in the slides, but I can tell you from my experience that the average check and the average units per ticket in the mobile app is also higher. This is, of course, if you use the personalization instruments and instruments of actually broadening the cart items in the cart, like AI based suggestions or things like this. This is all, by the way, part of the IMSHOP products that they're providing. But if you're using this, the average cart will also grow. So you will not only have the percentage, which will be more revenue, but you will also have a higher volume of revenue through the mobile app. So for higher value purchases, users gravitate towards environments with like saved logins, purchase history. The cart should be saved there, and personalization there. And so the mobile app can actually offer this experience in the device that everybody are using. And as we saw in the first slide, 75% of users are buying through their mobile phone. And so this, with the mobile app, I guess you're creating this safe space for better conversion and for higher revenue. Of course, a very important part of having a mobile app and selling through a mobile app for a retailer is retention. Basically, this is like, I guess in my case, I can tell you for myself that this is half of the decision making for launching a mobile app. To actually have an instrument to retain your customers, of course, have a direct line of communication with them and retain them for longer. So guess what? Research shows that a mobile app users generate roughly 3 to 5 times the customer lifetime value of the website. And you can see on the chart on the right here. So the yellow column is the typical e-commerce website, and the purple column is the community e-commerce app. And sorry, it's app to app. So the yellow one is the typical e-commerce app, and the purple one is the community e-commerce app. So what IMSHOP compared here, as they explained me, is that they have clients who only have a typical e-commerce website, mobile app, and they have clients who have a community app, like we just talked about with Lemure, right? And the ones that have a community aspect to their mobile app see a much better retention. So you see here, there is a day 1, and then there is a day 7, and then there is a day 13. So this is how well do you retain, what percentage of the customers who downloaded the mobile app will actually retain and will actually still use the mobile app and not delete it. So if you don't have a community aspect, this will be around roughly 30% on day 1. So a lot of people, of course, download. So it's like with the website. You go onto the website, and there's, of course, some churn. So guess what? The same kind of principle with churn applies to the mobile app as well. But day 1, 30% on average. If you have this community aspect, additional 10% will follow, and you will get up to 40%. Day 7, you get 10 plus percent up, and with the community more than 20%. And day 30, and here's where there's a huge difference, roughly 7% without it and more than 10% with it. And this is a big difference. Another interesting number that caught my attention from this slide is that 60% of first-time app buyers make additional purchase. Think about it. 60% of first-time buyers through your mobile app make an additional purchase. So that means that if you have clients who will return to your app 3 times a month, as we just previously discussed, 60% of them are very much likely to actually make the second and the third purchase and be the part of this loyal community around it. So you can use these numbers to actually calculate your business plan, or your P&L for launching a mobile app, and these are very useful. Pro tip here. So again, we're talking about the YouTube and a podcast show that I am hosting, powered by IMSHOP. And we recently had an interview with this fantastic brand, friend of Dorothy Wellness. And the idea behind the mobile app and this brand itself, this is a supplement brand, and they're creating a community around this supplement. And they have many interesting aspects, like they have a dating element to their app. They have blogs that are installed into the app. And they also see that people are retaining in the mobile app for much longer with this aspect. They, of course, have the commercial element to the mobile app as well. But it's the events, the dating features, the podcast that they have inside of it is what's holding their customers within the app and retain them for longer. So the key takeaways from what we just discussed, and let me just help you wrap it up in terms of numbers. 32% of active customers become app users. So this is a number that you can account for when you're thinking about launching a mobile app. You already have traffic, you already have customer base. Take a third, roughly this will be your percentage. If you add the pro tips, if you just act better on it on the launch process with implementing some offline scenarios and brick and mortar scenarios with it, the numbers will be even better. But here you can account for roughly a third of your customer base, which is quite cool. 9 minutes is an average time spent in the mobile app compared to 2 minutes on the desktop computer. And this will give you an opportunity to actually, see how longer you can get the attention of your clients. Because when we create the user experience, the interfaces, when we design those beautiful PDPs and PLPs, we think that people will actually care and they will actually scroll the whole PDP to look at this beautiful content that we created. Not always. Let's face it. 1 or 2 minutes, 1 minute on a mobile device, on a mobile website, is not enough to actually scroll everything and to be inspired by everything on average. But 9 minutes is more than enough. So that's important to know. And it's important to actually pay a lot of attention to UX UI in your mobile app, because here is where your loyal customers will actually appreciate all of the effort that you're putting into it. 11% is an average conversion rate. This is also a very important metric and number that you need to keep in mind when you're calculating a business case for launching your mobile app or relaunching it, because this will give you, you have the traffic, you have the third who will download, now you have the conversion. Take your average, check, calculate your revenue, and then calculate the percentage of loyal retention, which, as we know, is 4%, etc. You can download the presentation afterwards, and this will also be on our YouTube channel, mobile first retail. Mobile app represents 40% of revenue compared to 35% for the desktop website and 25% for mobile website. Again, another metric to help you calculate the revenue numbers and to help you understand what is the potential of a mobile app for your brand and for you as a retailer. And now let's talk about something that I'm personally very excited about: 5 retail mobile app trends for 2026 that IMSHOP.AI actually gathered from the market, from best practices on the market, and what we can learn from them. And this is really, really very exciting for me, because I honestly took some part in putting this together, and this part is very interesting. So stick around. So the first trend is apps as the loyalty and identity layer. And Nike here will be one of the best examples, because Nike created not one and not two, but actually, I think 4 mobile apps. So they have this Nike running club, they have this Nike sneaker club, etc., etc. And what they're doing is they're giving you an opportunity to actually log in, and if you're a runner, then trace your progress and your health marathons, etc., everything in the app. And you're basically, for Nike, what that is you're holding your ID within the brand. And more we see brands doing this. You will see in later examples that other brands are also paying attention to this, and I think that this will become a main feature of a mobile app, to actually have this identity of customer stored in the mobile app, because basically that feeds into your CRM. All of those 4 apps, I'm sure, in Nike, they're all streamed into one CRM, where they can see the life value and the lifetime value of the customer and the purchase history and everything. And that is very powerful. And this is one of the largest trends, I think. The second one is app is the community platform. We spoke about community several times during today's presentation, and I love this trend, because I think that this is one of the most powerful things if done right. Listen, let's face it. If you don't have a community, if you're trying to, just come up with a community from thin air and it's not really there, of course, first you need to come up with a community. There has to be a community first. There has to be this element first, like with Nike, like with, you can see here, Pexon. They actually, I hope I pronounced this one right, sorry. They actually launched a mobile app with the community element in it just recently, a couple of weeks ago. Oysha, they have this running clubs, and they have this community which stitches together the offline experience of these wonderful ladies and gentlemen having a running experience together, having a yoga experience together, that stitches everything together. But it's important that first you have this community element, first you have this spark, and then you build a mobile app as a place where this community hangs out. Back to the Lemure example of the equestrian brand, they already were the leading equestrian brand. They already had a lot of people who were using their equipment, buying from them, and attending those events and whatnot. Then they created the community experience on top of this, and this is why they're winning, because they gave the community a house, basically, right? And the mobile app does exactly this. Now, the third one, conversation commerce in app. This is a big one, definitely a big one, because you can see many news lines around the retail media that this brand came up with something, that brand came up with something. I recently posted on LinkedIn like a carousel with, I think, 5 or 6 different brands that came up with exactly this, like the conversational AI, because we all drawn to ChatGPT and other LLMs to ask questions, and this becomes a habit. So what retailers try to do, they're trying to replicate this experience inside their retail apps. Like what Ralph Lauren did here, as you see on the left side, they called it Ask Ralph. It's like you're asking Ralph Lauren himself for a fashion advice. And there's a lot of different brands who are doing this. Walmart did it on a big scale, and this will be penetrating the industry more and more, I'm sure. But it's also important to actually do it right. An important part is that with IMSHOP, many of those elements are part of the product. So when you get a mobile app with IMSHOP, for example, this chat, an AI-based chat, is something that you can get as part of the app instantly, right? So you don't need to create it yourself. It's already there. The community is the same thing, and the rest is also the same thing. In-store mode for retail omnichannel. I love this one because I can tell you that in my experience, when people are in the store and they cannot find the size, and sometimes, let's face it, our store associates are not always there. We're trying to work on it always, but it's life. And when people have this ability, of course, it will not be 100% of visitors of the store who will have the app and use this mode, etc. But there are many brands who are doing this, and there is a reason for it. So you see, Abercrombie and Fitch did it. So they have this in-store features in their mobile app, scan and shop. So what you can do is you take the mobile app, you scan the barcode on the item, you see all the sizes, you see everything, click the button, and what you can do, you can ask for a delivery to the sizing room. You can ask for you can see the sizes in different other stores, etc., etc. Let me fix the camera for a second here. Yeah, now it's better. Scan and shop. Yep, and we also see the same thing in Uniqlo. We see the same thing in H&M. We see it in Mango. We see it in many fashion brands, of course, because this is a big problem with the sizes, the colors in fashion industry in general. So this is a big trend for fashion business. Now the fifth one, the last but not the least for sure, is a very exciting one. So TikTok as an experience is very, very popular. And I think that TikTok Shop is one of the fastest growing retailers by the end of 2025 from the latest statistics that I recall. It grows faster than Amazon for sure, in terms of percentage, of course. Then what retailers do, and Pull and Bear is an example here, they're using this trend in their own mobile app, and they're giving you this experience of actually shopping through video. We're not talking about live shopping. And I know that many experts have different opinions about it. It's super popular in China, drives a lot of sales. It's not really that popular in Europe or in States. It's picking up. As what we're hearing, it's picking up in States. But here we're talking about another experience, the TikTok experience, where you see a short video and you immediately see the items that the model is showing you, and you can immediately buy them. This changes the experience of the shopping itself, of the catalog, of interacting with the catalog. Uh, yep. Sorry, fixing the camera here. Because how you interact with the catalog usually is you're scrolling through items, you're looking at the price, and the price and the size is what is most important for you. This is why you spend so little time on the website, because you're only interested in like how much is there on a discount or a promotion or not. If not, sorry. This makes your brand a commodity or product a commodity. What they're trying to do here is they're trying to give you a feeling behind the brand. They're trying to tell the story, because it's pretty hard to tell the story. This is why we're spending so much time with the user interface of the PDP, right? We're trying to tell the story of the product. We're trying to convince. What TikTok did, they told, well, the same with YouTube Shorts and etc. Here's the story. A 30-second small video tells you the story behind the product, behind the brand. So I think that this is a very interesting trend. We don't see it a lot yet. There are some Stradivarius, I know, by Inditex is doing this. So you can see this. You can go and check it out with Pull and Bear. They call it Shuffle. They're using a lot of models in this. I think that I would give users a chance to actually also shine in this one. Takes some effort, but this is a very interesting idea to actually use the user-generated content as those videos and upload them in the app and give them some kind of bonus points or something in your loyalty program. This is a very exciting thing. And I think that this is the beginning of us actually changing the experience, because we're searching for things that we want to find through AI more and more, but we're going we recently had one of the interviews where the guest told me that Amazon used to be a place where you search for products, but TikTok is a place where products search for you. They find you, right? So this is the same type of experience. Products here are finding you because you're more interested in this image than just browsing the website. So this is very exciting, and these are 5 key trends that are happening right now on the market. And I believe that if you use these, if you already have a mobile app and probably you already have a CRM system, etc. If you don't have a community yet, think about it. Very important to formalize it first and then create a house for your community. Conversation commerce, if you're looking into this, if you have a wide a list of items, or the items need some kind of attention, because in the physical store we have the store assistants, online we don't have store assistants, so this might be very useful. And if you have a lot of stores, if you are omnichannel business, in-store mode, and you already have a mobile app, this might be one of the things for your backlog in 2026 for sure. And of course, this TikTok experience, check it out. Look what Pull and Bear does with this. I think it's very interesting, and there are many ways of how you can apply this. So in the end, I want to say thank you again, first of all, for viewing today's webinar and today's presentation. And big shout out to IMSHOP. And IMSHOP actually makes mobile apps for e-commerce and retail, and they're working with the largest brands around the world. And they, as I said, make the mobile apps that already incorporate most of what we just discussed, and all of those trends. You can get them in one mobile app with one implementation. Again, thank you very much for spending time with us today, and I hope that your businesses will thrive this year and years ahead, years on, and you will use the trends that we have just discussed. Let me quickly see if we have any comments, any questions. Just a second. Okay, yeah, we have a couple of questions. So, Sergio. Hi, Sergio. Will my GMV grow up from example in first 6 months since app launch, and how? Well, yeah, by GMV, you basically mean your gross merchandise volume, right? And will it grow from just launching the mobile app? And this is a great question, and I'm sure that a lot of people are interested in, like, yeah, will it cannibalize? Will the mobile app actually cannibalize my existing base, right? Or will it drive some additional sales to my business? And the answer from my expertise and from my experience is it will do both. Yes, it will take some of the clients from your website and they will become the app users. But this is good because the conversion rates are higher there. They spend more time in your app, and if you create all of those experiences that we have just discussed in the trends, you're getting a much better metrics. And of course, there was no slide for the push notifications, but I think that this is also a very important instrument. If you don't have a mobile app, you don't have push notifications, you're missing out on your CRM strategy big time. But it will drive you additional GMV, and it really depends on the business. But in my experience, it drove quite a significant additional revenue. Why? Because when you implement mobile app into your marketing strategy and you start using different other methods of acquiring consumers through the App Store and Google Play and through other QR codes in physical world, it does drive you additional consumers. I cannot tell you the exact numbers for Echo, but we definitely drove some big additional business to Echo with this. I hope that answers your question. So basically, if that was the question, like will it cannibalize or drive additional GMV, it will do both. What's the average customer acquisition cost if we're talking about the QR installs? Well, if we're talking about the QR installs, and Alex, thank you very much for the question. So if we're talking about the QR codes, then we're talking probably about your own stores, because this was part of the slides that we showed. The pro tip there was you should use the QR codes in your own stores. So customer acquisition cost here is 0. That's the best part of it, right? So because this is already the traffic that you have in the stores that converts how it converts, and if they are downloading the mobile app, then you're getting it. Even if they are not buying right now, and from the slides we know that the 11% for iOS users is what you can expect from the initial downloads as a conversion. If they don't download right now, you still have them your mobile app in their phone, which they always carry around. So it will give you retention. It will give you additional sales. So customer acquisition cost exactly for the QR codes is 0. Leo, 9 minutes. Don't know what that means, but 9 minutes. Gotcha. So this is probably a reference to one of the slides where it was 9 when it said 9 minutes for spent on the app. 9 minutes sounds like an optimistic scenario, but okay, Alex. Yeah, well, this is the average number. What metrics will prove that investing in a mobile app was the right decision? Well, I guess the main metrics that we need to look at is, first of all, the revenue, then the contribution margin. The contribution margin should be higher. And third of all, of course, is your CRM revenue, and because the push notifications will drive so much of it. And so the commercial metrics that you're usually using should grow. If you have implemented a mobile app and it just cannibalized all of your websites and your mobile website and didn't actually add anything to your GMV, that's the problem. But how to avoid this problem is exactly what we talked about in the slides, because in the slides we showed you how to implement all of those additional things beyond just e-commerce and beyond just a catalog and a PDP. Because if you're just making a replica of a catalog and a PDP, you can expect average numbers. If you're adding extra, you can expect much higher results. And I can tell you from the experience in both Quicksilver and Echo, the results are pretty big in terms of it. But answering your question, Ara, yeah, you need to look at the commercial metrics. Of course, the whole funnel is important: downloads, the conversion rates, the revenue, the margin, etc. But if the revenue grows, the margin grows, then you're on a good path. John, what are the top retail brands doing differently in mobile to grow LTV today? Um, I think that those 5 trends that we spoke about are exactly what the best practices are, right? And these are the large brands that are delivering those LTV results, lifetime value results, through community, through adding some experiences where you can identify yourself to the app because you really want to, not because you're viewing the brand and the app as a purely transactional instrument, but because you're actually part of your identity, right? Like with Nike running, there are a lot of people who are constantly using it, and it's an important part of their life. And all of the other trends. This is what the best practice is, I think. So let's see. Do we have any other questions? First of all, thank you very much for everybody who sent their questions in, and for everybody viewing online. There will be a recording of this webinar on our YouTube channel. As I said, it will be on LinkedIn. Go check out the YouTube channel, Mobile First Retail, and you can see some of the interviews that we're doing with people from retail brands who already have a mobile app, who are thinking about a mobile app, and what their best practices are for those who already have a mobile app experience in their brands. I see that we don't have any other questions, so yeah. Thank you very much, and thank you for viewing. Go download the if you're watching us online after the stream, you can download the PDF with all the slides with the link in the description, and go check out IMSHOP.AI. They're really doing the mobile apps that will help you sell more and grow both the lifetime value and the GMV. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Some thank you posts here. Thank you, guys. Thank you again. Everybody, have a good day. Thank you very much again. Bye bye.